Hi, this is Dan Stein. I'm reviewing 9811 Theories of Social Organization. This was worth a huge part of the entire doctoral program course, in my estimation. I was exposed for the first time to the workings of Sun Tzu, The Art of War. To me, that made so many things so clear. I was wild to know that, according to Sun Tzu, he predicted that we would lose Vietnam. We can go into that at another time, but it was very, very interesting. And so we then read and spoke of the Princessa, and one of the takeaways from that was you had best learn to control yourself. That's a very big task. Trying to control other people is not necessarily an easy thing to do. Okay, so with all the information that was coming, and again, those are just two book reviews, I had to come up with a way to organize the information, and so I put together something that's called At a Glance. It's actually something Ken Martinucci termed, and the idea is similar to that which would happen if you went to a meeting, and therefore they said what was happening at one time. So I put it together in this horizontal format, and there's a description of what's going to happen during the day, and we put together the course syllabus, etc. And then as you come down, I started to take notes in a very different way. I found out about the book and ordered it. As a matter of fact, I ordered a half a dozen copies for some of my friends, but I also found out that this is downloadable and it's free as an audio book. I actually listened to it in my car, and then there's a site with the quotes, which I thought very interesting. I'll show you what that looks like. So I now have a chance to look in many different places to get the information. Sometimes it's free, sometimes it's not. Okay, let's move a little bit further. Here are the two books that we went over at length. As I come down in the course, we did had another book which was Leadership and Organizations by William Owings. And here I found that of interest to me was that a person's career is an expression of themselves. I never really thought of it in that terms before. There were many other topics, and they all tied to that new ideas are not easily accepted by current administration. Boy, I found that to be true. We had other exercises we'll talk about. Here is a presentation that we did in a PowerPoint on change theory and leadership and motivation. Let me just come down a little bit further and share with you on the idea of resistance to change. I picked this up from Barker, and it is that new ideas cause resistance. An example of this was Galileo was confirmed with a telescope that Copernicus was right and the Earth revolved around the sun, and he was placed under house arrest. So, got to be careful about how you come across with ideas. I have to take that to heart. All right, let's go a little bit further. And we also did simulations in educational leadership, where we actually looked at different scenarios and how we would handle that. So articles went along with that, like one from the Harvard Review. We actually then had to make a podcast, and the podcast came with interview someone. I did mine with Dr. Stephen Levy, and let me see if I can find a copy of it here. Hang on a second. Here it is. And we had to do a podcast, an interview, and that was a new learning experience. I never did a podcast before. And this goes to show you the multifaceted approach that the program takes in how you learn both theory and in practice. Very pleased. On my document, you can also listen to my podcast. I won't bore you with it now. Thank you.